Moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. There's no discharge in the war.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Shepherd's Pie. Doing another Bible talk today. Bible talk, Bible cast, Bible read, Bible study.
A little slice of sermon for you.
I mean, yeah, slice of sermon. I do like that. We left off last time, Genesis 26. We're talking about Jacob, his sons, the
I'm gonna
descendants
share
of
my
Abraham.
screen for the folks out there real quick.
Oh yeah, so we got a little bit of Bible to follow along with if you don't have one of your own at home.
If you don't, get one. Just get one.
Yeah.
They're the most publicly available books on the planet, on the flat earth, in the realm.
It literally is the #1 best-selling book. I thought it was crazy. I have this local bookstore. Tommy and I went in there to buy a Bible, and they didn't have a Bible. And they offered to order us one. Like, they're not totally against bringing
Oh
it
yeah,
in.
I remember. Yeah.
But they did have, like, up in their window display every, like, progressive, gay, queer, I'm different
Yep.
and I'm special, and this is why Jew history should be believed. Like, all the propaganda was up in the
and
window.
like witchcraft stuff
Yeah.
and frickin' New Age stuff and all the different types of spiritual books except the Bible.
And I'm like, that's crazy. It's literally the #1 best-selling book of all time ever. Like, it's like #1 every year pretty much. And she's like, yeah, no, we just don't carry it. This happens all the time, actually. You're going to have to go across the street to the coffee shop. They sell Bibles. And there's this nice little quaint, like, it's this little old lady, like, just does her own Christian coffee shop. She sells Bibles out of there and other books. It was really cool.
I
But
was super stoked about it.
Fucking weird. You're not going to sell the Bible. Like, I don't know. It's educational. Best book ever. We're going to...
Yeah.
We're going to get into it. Genesis chapter 27. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold, now I am old, and I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison. And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may be blessed, or that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and bring it in. And Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speaking to Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice, according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goat, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's wild. That's such a weird distinction to make, you know?
It's going to get weirder. My father, peradventure, will feel me, and I shall see him. I will seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son, only obey my voice, and go upon me them. So she's saying, it's my fault. Like, you wouldn't be cursed, I would be cursed. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as the father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son, which were with her in which bleh. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house. So she took Esau's clothes and put them upon Jacob her younger son. And he put the skins of the kids of the goat upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck. So
that's so crazy.
She took his clothes so that he'll smell like him and feel like him, and then she took goat fur, put it on his hands and put it on his neck because he's so hairy.
Because that's a good comparison for how Esau is.
Yeah, comparatively to a goat.
That's insane.
And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? My son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according to thou biddest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul shall bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. I feel like that's dirty, to like include God in your lie. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and he said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. So he felt those hairy hands and bought it.
Yeah.
And
he said the voice isn't Esau's, but the hands are, so it's got to be Esau.
Yeah. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau's hands, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren. Let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be every one who blesseth thee. It came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father rise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul shall bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? He said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is he that hath taken venison, and brought it to me? I have eaten of all before thou comest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. So he's like, what the heck? I already ate a venison stew. Like, who did I just bless if not you?
That's, I want to I wish that we had some type of frickin' knowledge on this ceremony that they're doing, because this is like a little ceremony, little like blessing ritual, and it's like the father gets old and can't go out and hunt. He can't go provide meat or anything really for his family, but he's got his sons, and for the blessing to happen, that is apparently a big deal. The son has to go out and kill a deer and grab the venison and bring it back to his father. And the father's supposed to bless his son, and that is for that son to be like recognized in the family and it with God as like the leader of the family or the top of the bloodline or something. Um, it's kind of a wild little ceremony, little ritual there. Makes a lot of sense. It's just I wish that there was like more of
It's just
a
interesting to me
precedent for it.
because like Esau was ready to give up his birthright earlier over a bowl of stew. He comes
Yeah.
back. He comes back from the field, and he says, "I'm tired. Feed me. What good is my birthright if I'm dead?" So, like we hypothesized in a previous video that maybe he was actually out to battle. That's a common theory. He would have fought Nimrod with a bunch of men, not just him and himself, but him and all of his people would have gone out to fight Nimrod. He would have come back from a battle, essentially been tired and hungry and wounded. So the thought is that this stew wasn't just a stew, but a term for having taken care of him and all of his men in a time of need. But it seems to maybe also just be a stew. If this is like the ritual, like here, eat it. I went and I got the meat. I hunted it down, probably, like a Native American would, like really like sorrowed or like felt, the killing of this animal purely, and took of its meat, brought it home, and like they say it the same way, like arise and eat of my venison, so that thy soul may bless me. Like they both say it the same way.
Yeah. So it's got to be some type of rite or ritual. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some type of like widely understood thing is my thought, like of the land. Like this is a thing that happens for like the transference of like power in a family. You
Right.
know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's just like because a lot of these in this era, there's a lot of ritual and like with like hygiene and stuff like that, and with like any type of sacrifices that they would do to God or things of that nature. There's a thing that has to be done in order for it to be like a sanctified, sacrifice or offering.
Oh, so like all of those rules are clarified later. So I wonder if they had those practices beforehand.
Yeah, if it maybe it's more of a primitive type
Right.
that they have now,
I
and
wonder
then they
if
get
it's-
refined later on.
Yeah, I wonder if it's symbolic for something else.
Yeah, it very well could be. It very well could be.
So
Yeah, interesting.
So Isaac trembled. Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it here? And Esau heard the words of his father. He cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even also, O my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is he not rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all of his brethren I have given him for servants, and with corn and wine I have sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice, and he wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So basically, there is a distinction between the birthright and the blessing. So the birthright would have been all the things that are rightly bestowed upon the firstborn, right? Like all the land, all
inheritance,
the inheritance. Thank you. And so, Esau feels duped out of that, even though he willingly gave it up, it seemed.
Yeah, it might have been like maybe like a in the heat of the moment, he's just like you can have it type deal, like not very serious,
Right.
or he didn't really think that it was like a contract, for like his damn birthright.
Right.
So it's like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from it because he seems like he's actually like floored by it that Jacob came and did that.
Right. Even though, like, in the passage, it seemed like he was totally, like, with it. He knew what was going on. He was participating subject, like, gave it up.
Yeah.
And now this blessing, we'd think, Abraham's a man of the Lord. Or, sorry, Isaac's man of the Lord. He should be able to just bestow a blessing upon both of them. But it's not just, you be blessed, you're going to have a good life. It's like, you are going to essentially be the king. Like not necessarily king, but there's a huge tribe of these people. Like there's all their family's gigantic, and then they've got sojourners and other people like herding and farming. It's a gigantic group of people. So who's going to lead them? Isaac's been leading them. Now it's going to be Jacob because that's who got the blessing.
Yeah.
So Esau is meant. Now, his blessing is to serve. He said, oh, yeah, you're going to, have the fatness of your position. You're serving your brother. You're going to be well taken care of, but you're going to serve your brother. And he even says in his blessing that, come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So he's given him the blessing to free himself from that servitude to his brother, but still telling him that's essentially what you're bound to do.
Yeah, you're bound to do that until you have your own position, like your own foot to stand on, and then you can take off from the yoke from your neck of your brother.
Yeah.
But basically, by the sword you shall live. So like he's supposed to be just a warrior, and I mean Esau being the hairy man. I mean he was the farmer anyway. Like he was out in the field, so he's super strong. He's a freaking hairy man, so obviously some type of I don't know what to think of that. With my thoughts, it's like even the way he said it, that like Esau is a hairy man and I am a smooth man.
Yeah.
Like smooth man, hairy man being like
different types of man. Yeah.
Yes. Like there's different men out there that are considered men, but they're just extremely hairy, and like it feels like they're stronger maybe, like that's the essence of what it's kind of like laying out for us here. Yeah. Which is very strange, just the sheer fact that it does that, it's extremely strange.
It very well could just be that he's burly. Like there are weird distinctions later, like baldness and forehead baldness. Like I don't know if they're talking about two different types of baldness or something else, but like we don't normally classify different types of baldness. It's just somebody's bald. But then later on,
forehead baldness would claim that like the forehead was hairy.
No, no. I would think forehead baldness would just be like the top strip where you still see hair around the sides, and then baldness would be complete baldness. That's my guess, but we're not even there yet. Point I'm making is that they do clarify things weirdly because it is such a long time ago. The translation is a little weird. They had a different way of speaking, so there's definitely a possibility that Esau's not a fucking man beast, but he sounds like a satyr. Like, oh, here, put on this goat fur.
Something.
Yeah, put on this goat fur so you resemble your brother. Like, what is that? Is your brother part animal? Is he part Nephilim? Is he something?
Yeah, the fact that his
sounds
fur
like Nephilim
is as
shit.
Thick as a goat is the wildest thing. It sounds like Bigfoot type shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like freaking, I don't know, like you think of the missing link or freaking stuff like that, like cavemen before we were people in the evolutionary line type thinking. It's like they were super hairy, like monkey people.
I tend to think, I don't like totally vest all my belief in this, but I do kind of believe that I've said it before on here, that maybe there was like a primitive man before God, like that God made with the animals that was just here. And then God decided, let's make man in our image. So then he made a more godly man. And that's where you get Adam and his line. But then there was still like the right before the missing link man, you know?
Yeah.
And people would have had sex with him. There's definitely interbreeding. We find that people have DNA from like cavemen, like basically barbarian DNA. Yeah. So if Adam's line was like the pure line that God created in the image of man, and there was like monkey men roaming around, there was some crossbreeding, maybe that is why Esau is why he is, because maybe he's got a little bit of the bad DNA somewhere along
just expressed out. Yeah.
Maybe somewhere along the line, one of these women weren't from the right family or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's such a wild thing, man.
Definitely not saying any of that's the case. Just spitballing here.
Just from what we have actually read so far, that's where it's that's where we get.
So the days of mourning my father are at hand, then I will slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau is touching thee. So touching is underlined and changed to concerning. So your brother Esau is concerning thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise. Flee thou to Lebon, my brother to Haran. So she's got a brother in another land, and she's saying, just get out of here, because your brother's going to kill you.
Yeah.
And tarry with him a few days, until thy brother's fury turn away. Until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these which are the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do to me? So that's
so
one
there's
of those
some beef.
Like, are the daughters of Heth just some people that don't worship God? Or are those some Nephilim people? And she's like, what's the point of me preserving my son that is of the good bloodline? Like, why doesn't Rebekah care about Esau, the firstborn? Like, why is she trying to dupe him out of his rights? Probably because she can see that he's tainted with his hairiness. And so she wants to...
Didn't God come and talk to Rebekah?
Yeah.
God spoke to Rebekah, right?
Yes, and said, you will have 2 sons, and they will lead great nations. And they came out, one was grabbing the other one's foot. I almost want to go back and find it. I think it was Esau first, and then Jacob's grabbing his heel.
Yeah.
And yeah, God even said that, like, one would serve the other. And now it's all unfolding. So she knows. Yeah. She knows. But yeah, she doesn't want Jacob to take a wife of the daughters of Heth. And I wish we had more of a photographic memory to know, like, to go back and know. But I'm going to guess they're, like, related to Canaan. Because cursed be Canaan, so fuck all these guys, right? I don't know. Chapter 28. And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him, so commanded him, and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. So
there we go.
Yeah, Heth is Canaan. Arise, go to Padanaram, and to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Lebon, thy mother's brother. And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee, and to thy seed with thee, that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God give unto Abraham. So, even though God gave it to Abraham, you're still a stranger.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, because it's inhabited by other people.
Yeah, it still hasn't, like, become theirs yet. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Padanaram unto Lebon, son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob and Esau's mother. When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob, and sent him away to Paddan Aram to take him a wife from thence, and that he had blessed him and gave him charge. And that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. And that Jacob obeyed his father and his mother, and was gone to Paddan Aram. And Esau, seeing that the daughters of Canaan pleased not Isaac his father, then went Esau unto Ishmael, and took unto the wives which he had Mahalath, the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son, the sister of Nabosh, I don't know, to be his wife.
Nabojoth.
Thank you. That's way better. And Jacob went out from Beersheba, and went toward Haran. And he lighted up a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took up of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows, and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set upon the earth, and at the top of it reached to heaven, and behold, angels of God ascending and descending on it. So this is Jacob's ladder. You hear people talk about that a lot, Jacob's ladder.
Right here, it's chapter 28 in Genesis, verse 12.
So he has a dream of a ladder that goes up from earth to heaven, and then he sees angels of God
coming and going.
And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac, the land whereon thou liest. To thee I will give it, and to thy seed. And thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west and to the east, and to the north and to the south. And in thee and in thy seed shall all the families of the earth be blessed. That's interesting. All the families of the earth. So, like, some people like to think it would only be certain groups of people that are blessed, even though this is the person that his name is going to be changed. Does Jacob not turn into maybe not?
Most definitely
No.
that as we go on, because I can't remember.
I don't remember either. But God's making this promise that all the families of the earth will be blessed. And behold, I am with thee, and I will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken of thee. And Jacob awakened out of his sleep, and he said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and said, How dreadful is this place! This is none other but the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Weird that he was... Okay, so dreadful is underlined and changed to awesome. So it's like, why would he say it's dreadful?
It's like, like awesome, where it's just like it's almost scary how just like eye-opening or how like powerful something could be,
Right. And like from what we talked about, angels and demons, like imagine seeing that stuff.
Yeah. it's insane, like
with
people,
no frame of reference ahead of time.
Exactly. Like people that do mushrooms kind of get an understanding of this when the door is just opened full throttle, and
right.
you're seeing things that, or thinking things or feeling things that you just had no lexicon for, and it's just like it's too much, almost too much, but you do get to see it, so it's just like holy crap. And I think that's kind of where like the fear of the Lord too, that is always stated like in something that a lot of like people that are against like Christianity, they always say that, your God's supposed to be loving, it's not supposed to be a thing that you fear,
right?
But it's like it's not I think that it's kind of the same like verbiage or
like
thought
respect.
line. Yes, it's like a just knowing that he's there type deal. Like knowing who he is and what he is and who you are in relation to that, and that's the fear.
I agree. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillow and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon upon top of it. And he called the name of the place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. So he's like renaming this area, and this is where Bethlehem will end up being much later in the future when Jesus is born.
Yeah.
And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, "If God will be with me, and we will keep me in this way, that I will go, and will give my bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall the Lord be my God. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be God's house, and of all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the 10th unto thee." Then Jacob went on his journey. Chapter 29. Then Jacob went on his journey and came into the land of the people of the east. And he looked, and behold, a well in the field. And lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks. And a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered. And they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the sheep, and put the stone upon the well's mouth in his place. And Jacob said unto them, "My brethren, whence be ye?" And they said, "Of Haran are we." So these are...
Yep.
If you don't understand, he's just asking where they're from.
Yep. But Haran, isn't that where... oh, wait, is that where Rebecca wanted him to go? Was Haran?
Lebon is... Whoa. Padnaram.
Padnaram, never mind. So Haran's the opposite place, right? Where she didn't want them to go, like she was afraid?
No, because it just says that that's where he was heading when he left.
Okay.
They just want him to not take the daughters of Heth or the daughters of Canaan.
Yeah, Heth. There we go. So I messed it up. Yep, I got my wires crossed. My bad.
No, you're fine. I think if you continue to get your wires crossed, then it helps the people that get their wires crossed if we could just keep re-explaining everything all the time.
Yeah, redundancy.
Yes. And he said unto them, "Know ye Lebon, the son of Nahor?" And they said, "We do know him." And he said unto them, "Is he well?" And they said, "He is well. And behold, Rachel his daughter cometh with the sheep." And he said, "Lo, is it yet high day, neither is it time that the cattle should be gathered together? Water ye the sheep, and go and feed them." And they said, "We cannot until all the flocks be gathered together, and till they roll the stone from the well's mouth, then we water the sheep." And while he yet spake with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Lebon, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Lebon, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near, and rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and watered the flock of Lebon, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel, and lifted up his voice, and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was his father's brother, and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him, and embraced him, and kissed him, and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, "Surely thou art my bone and my flesh." And he abode with them the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, "Because thou art my brother, shouldest thou therefore serve me for a naught? So serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall thy wages be?" So he's with Laban for a month, and Laban,
I remember this now.
Laban's like, "How am I going to pay you? Like, you've been here this whole time. You've been working for me. You've been doing, you've been helping me out. How can I pay you?"
Yep.
And Laban had 2 daughters, and the name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, so she was weak-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. So it seems like Leah was not easy on the eye. She was less appealing to look at than Rachel.
Yeah.
And Jacob loved Rachel, and said, "I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy younger daughter." And Laban said, "Is it better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man? Abide with me, And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had for her. So he really liked her. Those 7 years went by real quick.
Yeah, he really committed to that.
And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go unto her. So he really wants to consummate that marriage.
Yeah, wants to do the thing now, yeah.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him, and he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban, what is it that thou hast done unto me? Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me? And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country, to give the younger before the firstborn. So Laban tricked him. He didn't clarify that he was going to do this throughout the whole 7 years, that's the tradition that the firstborn has to go first.
Yeah.
He knows nobody's going to take Leah. So he tricks Jacob into marrying Leah.
Yep.
And, Jacob's like, there's no divorce, that's what it is. And it's almost like, they had a celebration and he didn't even know that he was sleeping with Leah.
Yeah, like he got drunk or something and then like went to his bed chambers and it was like dark or something and they're supposed to send in the bride, and like they send in frickin' Leah and Leah does the thing with him and then frickin' he wakes up in the morning and it's not Rachel.
Right.
And he's like, you've got to be shitting me.
Yeah.
Freaking terrible, dude. These people are ugh. I hate all these little tricks that freaking happen all throughout all this. It's like, what the heck, man?
He says, fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
Oh, he wanted to tie him in for another freaking...
Yeah, so he's like, work 7 more years and I'll give you Rachel. I know you really love her.
Yeah.
So he does, and Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel, his daughter, to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter, Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So Leah was able to have children, and Rachel wasn't. And God seemingly did that so that Jacob would love Leah more.
Yeah.
Because he kind of didn't love her at all. She was just there, and that sucks for Leah. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bare a son. Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, or attached to me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise the Lord. Before she called his name Judah, and left bearing. So the left bearing means she stopped having kids.
Yep, stopped having kids, yep.
Would you like to take over? I'm getting a little sore. I'm going to take a second.
Absolutely.
Love to listen.
Genesis chapter 30. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I die.
That's that hysteria.
Oh goodness, women! I'm just sorry. I'm kidding. For all of our women Bible episode listeners, sorry. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, am I in God's stead? Who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? And she said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife. And Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore she called his name Dan.
So Jacob is betting Leah, Rachel, and now Bilhah on Rachel's behalf.
Yeah, this is all. You know what's crazy is that so far with where we are, it's 21 years that he has served for the father, just for Rachel, and the whole thing that's happened here is like so twisted. It sucks.
Yeah.
He goes there, and like does all this work for the father so that he could get the wife of Rachel to marry Rachel.
Yeah.
And it's just like the father keeps beguiling him in order to keep him looped in and to kind of shove off his eldest that is not very favorable and loop Jacob in with God. Like I bet that if that whole thing with Leah didn't happen, like that like lie, that if Jacob married Rachel first, God would have favored Rachel.
I mean, it's got to be all part of God's plan, because Rebecca, Jacob's mother, was like, only for a few days, and then I'll send a messenger. And then months went by at first before Lebon was even like, how do I pay you? And he's like, I want to marry Rachel. And then 7 years for Leah, and now he's in the middle of another 7 years for Rachel. Sorry, I was going to say Rebecca.
No, he did get Rachel already with that 7 years.
Well,
so he did 14.
It's almost like he
got to marry Rachel.
It's almost like he was fronted. I don't know where we're at in the 7 years, because it says that he went in unto Rachel. He was given her to wife. He served the 7 years, but now he's still with Lebon. He's going to
serve another 7. So there was the first 7, which was waiting to marry Rachel, and he got Leah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, we're going to redo this another 7 years, and I get Rachel. And Laban's like, done. And so then he does the other 7, and then Laban does give him Rachel. And then he's like, going to stay another 7 years. And he does stay another 7 years, and there's no children that happen with Rachel, but there's children that happen with Leah.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. So it's like 21 plus years we're at right now with all of this.
No, I think you're adding an extra 7. There's the 7 for Leah, there's the 7 for Rachel. And
then he does another 7.
Where are you getting the other 7?
I'm pretty sure. Let me go back. And Laban gave his daughter Leah for handmaid. And it came to pass in the morning, behold, it was Leah. Fulfill her week and give her the service. Okay, so fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service, which thou shalt serve with me yet another 7 years. So there's 14.
Yep.
Because it goes to the end and he gets Rachel. So,
yep.
And Jacob fulfilled that, and he gave Rachel. And Laban gave Rachel the daughter to be the maid. He went into Rachel's.
Yeah. So
he served with him yet 7 other years.
Yes. So that's just still 14. Because this is saying, Laban is saying, fulfill her week, and we will give her to you for another 7 years. And then it is saying that Jacob did those 7 years.
He loved Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. There were 7 more years on top of the 14.
Yep, that's the 7 other years that Laban was asking for. Because Laban was asking for it. It's not saying that it happened. So there was only 14.
Jacob did so, fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel, his daughter, also.
Yep.
So there's 14 years.
No, that's not saying the time passed. It said fulfilled her week. It didn't say the 7 years passed. Because Laban is saying, fulfill her week, and we will give thee this also for the service, that thou shalt serve with me another 7 years. So he goes the week, he gets Rachel, and then serves another 7 years. So I think now that the babies are being had, we're in that other 7 years.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hard to tell.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, all right. We'll freaking just move on from that because I don't really know.
Doesn't matter. 14 to 21 years.
Somewhere within that. Yeah, it's a long time. And like he's just getting absolutely shafted the whole time.
I mean, he's making his people, and if he wasn't, I say maybe it's God's plan, because if he wasn't doing this, maybe he would just end up going home and getting killed by his brother.
Yeah.
So
yeah, literally. So there's like all this time. And Rebecca said that she will send for Jacob when Esau's anger for him and like wanting to kill him.
Yeah, so passed. It must not have subsided.
So yeah, literally Esau's like 14 still
years.
Fuming.
Yeah,
he's holding that grudge, dude. He really is.
And like Jacob has only been able to have 3 kids over this 14 years so far.
So Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. We're on 35.
Sorry, 4 sons.
Yeah, literally. Now he's got 4 sons. And Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath heard also my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings, have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed, and she has called his name Naphtali. So that's the 5th son's name. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son.
So now Jacob's got 2 wives and their maids.
Dude, crazy.
4
Just
wives.
absolutely pumping out the army. And Leah said, a troop cometh. A troop cometh. And she called his name Gad.
Gad means troop.
Yeah, I mean, like, very aptly named. Like, I mean, dude, like, you can't get much more, like, on the button with that.
Right.
And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. And Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Lee, is it Lee? I think it's just Lee.
It's Leah.
Or no, Leah. Yeah, Leah. Give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes.
So a mandrake, it's a herb causing sexual desire, is what is underlined in my Bible.
Ooh.
So now there's this herb that causes sexual desire. Reuben brought some to Leah, and I guess the idea is to give them to Jacob to win over his favor over the other wife.
Dude, this pettiness.
I just want to say, like, there is this idea that, like, oh, well, in the Bible, they had multiple wives. What about that? The stories in the Bible where they have multiple wives, it clearly shows how much chaos ensues when that happens.
Yeah, literally. It causes so much strife, and God has to, like, intervene, and it's just, it gets so messy.
It's not necessarily outside of God's plan. It's not necessarily evil. I really don't think there's anything wrong with it. God never says don't do it, but it definitely does show in the Bible time and time again how it is a problem. It does cause issues. You have a lot more peace and ability to follow God with one wife.
It also seems like out of the chaos of this, like it causes people to sin. or to have some type of like resentments that end up biting them in the ass.
Right.
So it's like some of the sons will end up being like almost cursed from these sins of the mother or of the father, and it causes them to break off into like a separate destiny. Like there's the family destiny that's like bestowed by God, and then people are messing up, or like through their resentment they make decisions, and then it causes like a branching like destiny through God.
Right.
Like it causes a split. There's like rifts galore that happen when this is taking place, like almost every time. I don't know if there's like a truly positive freaking instance of it. I don't know. It's yet to be seen. All right. Rachel said, okay, so the mandrakes. So that's kind of interesting too. It's almost like Rachel, Reuben went and got the mandrakes for his mom, Leah.
Yeah.
So it's like, here, like get these so that you can, get Jacob to kind of love on you more.
Yeah, he must know his mother's plight.
Yeah, exactly. But then Rachel said to Leah, "Give me, I pray thee, of thy son's mandrakes." So it's almost like she's like, "Hey, I know you're using the mandrakes to try and one up me, like give me them." Like, no.
I mean, she's barren, so maybe she thinks they can help her in that regard.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
And so, maybe
she's having to surrogate all of this. Yeah.
Right. And like the next sentence just goes to show that like she knows, or at least Leah knows, that she's out of line asking. So like maybe she's just don't get it.
Maybe. And she said unto her, is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband? And wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? And Rachel said, therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. And Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, thou must come in unto me, for surely I have hired thee with thy son's mandrakes. and he lay with her that night.
So Rachel's like, I'll let you go fuck Jacob without bothering you if you give me those mandrakes. And then Leah goes right up to Jacob and she's like, I bought you for tonight with this plant. You're mine. It's so ridiculous. Like, it's silly. It's funny.
And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bare Jacob a fifth son. And Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar.
Yeah.
And Leah conceived again and bare Jacob a sixth son.
Go,
These
Leah.
mandrakes are working.
No,
and
she didn't
Leah
use
said,
them. She got rid of them.
Oh, she got rid of them.
Yeah, she gave Rachel
and
the
Leah,
mandrakes.
Wow. And Leah said, God hath endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulun. Zebulun. There we go. And afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah. And God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened her womb, finally. And she conceived, and bare a son, and said, God hath taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, and said, the Lord shall add to me another son. And it came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Lebon, send me away, that I may go unto my own place, into my country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done for thee. And Lebon said unto him, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry. For I have learned by experience that the Lord hath blessed me for thy sake. And he said, appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. And he said unto him, thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. For it was little which thou hast did before I came. And it is now increased unto a multitude. And the Lord hath blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for mine own house also? And he said, What shall I give thee? And Jacob said, Thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep thy flock. I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all of the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face. Everyone that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. And Laban said, Behold, I would it might be according to thy word. And he removed that day the he-goats that were ring-stracked and spotted, and all the she-goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them into the hand of his sons. And he set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Jacob. And Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flocks.
So what's happening is he's trying to leave, but since he's been there, he's multiplied Laban's flocks. He's multiplied essentially his value, his net worth.
Yep.
And the agreement was for some wives, but he's been here for so long and done so much that he can't just leave.
He's owed more.
He can't just leave with his wife and his children after he's put all this work and this time into this cattle, and leave with nothing. So he's saying, let me take not necessarily half, but let me take all the spotted and speckled. You're going to have all the solid colored ones. Let me take all the brown sheep. You keep all the white sheep.
The less favorable.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much he's going through all the herds and just picking out all the ones that are blemished in some type of way, and he's taking them for himself.
And put distance between himself and Laban.
It feels very kind of prophetic in a way, like pointing maybe towards like a Jesus thing,
What's that?
With the flock and like picking the ones that aren't the most favorable.
Maybe. Yeah.
It gives vibes of that.
I was thinking how it's interesting that Jacob and his sons, who would go on to become Israel, now all have the speckled flock, and the sacrifice for the red heifer is like a completely pure red, unspeckled, no blemishes.
Yeah. That's how they looked at it, like all they had to be pure, like whatever sacrifices for God, they were always extremely meticulous about what animals they chose to sacrifice and like the condition of them.
Yeah.
And like it just goes to show with that red heifer thing, every single hair has to be red. Like they legitimately comb every hair of the cow to make sure that it has not any other color other than red, which is crazy, but it's a thing. Okay. You said 3 days journey. Okay. 37. And Jacob took him rods of green poplar and of the hazel and chestnut tree, and piled white strakes in them, and pilled white strakes in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. And he set the rods which he had piled before the flocks in the gutters, in the watering troughs, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. So this is like a thing that they put into the water for the sheep and for the animals, so that they will it's like goat freaking aphrodisiac or something.
Goat weed.
Yeah, literally. Literally. And the flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle ring-straked, speckled, and spotted. And Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-straked, and all the brown in the flock of Lebon, And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. So he separated them. And it came to pass, whensoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in. So the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. Aha. And the man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and menservants, and camels, and asses. Genesis chapter 31. And he heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all this glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock. And he said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father. And your father hath deceived me, and changed my wages 10 times. But God suffered him not to hurt me. If he says thus, the speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he says thus, the ring-straked shall be thy hire, then bear all the cattle ring-straked. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father, and given them to me. Yeah, he's a smart guy, smart cookie. And it came to pass, at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes, and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring-straked, and speckled, and grizzled. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and see, all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring-straked, speckled, and grizzled. For I have seen all that Laban doeth unto thee. I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou vowest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him strangers? For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money. For all the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's, now then, whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. And Jacob rose up, and set his sons and his wives upon the camels. And he carried away all his cattle, and all his goods, which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting, which he hath gotten in Padanaram. Padanaram, for to go to unto Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's.
So the images is the household idols. Those false gods.
Frickin' Rachel stole them things. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and rose up and passed over the river, and set his face toward the mount of Gilead. And it was told Laban on the 3rd day that Jacob was fled. So he didn't know for 3 days. And he took his brethren with him, and pursued after him 7 days' journey. And they overtook him in the mount of Gilead. And God, yes, it's Gilead, right? Gilead.
Whatever.
They pronounce things weird, like tomato, whatever.
Gilead.
All right, Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good nor bad. And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount. And Lebon with his brethren pitched in the mount of Gilead. And Lebon said to Jacob, What hast thou done? That thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives taken with the sword. Come on, Lebon.
He's a
We all know
bullshitter.
what's going on here. Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with mirth, with songs, with tabret, and with harp? And hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Thou hast now done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the God of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, Take thou heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And now, though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house.
He's mocking him.
Wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? My gods. Lowercase g, people.
Because Rachel took the idol. So when they're leaving, they're getting ready to leave, Rachel scrambles to get the gods that her father praised, that she was raised on, because she wasn't fully committed to...
That might be why her womb was closed.
Maybe, yeah.
It might be it right there. And Jacob answered and said to Lebon, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure thou wouldest take... dude, I'm doing the eth, like, on my own accord. Wouldest take by force thy daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren discern thou what is thine with me, and take it to thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. He didn't even know.
Right. Because he's got two wives.
Yeah.
Can't keep track of both of them.
Chaos. Yeah. It's hard to hold down the fort when you're freaking outmanned and outgunned.
Right.
And Laban went in unto Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the two maidservants' tents, but found he not them. But he found them not. Then went he out to Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. And he searched, but found not the images, so she didn't get up, you know?
Yeah.
It's freaking funny. And Jacob was wroth. Yeah, she used some custom. Oh, yeah, well, we're women. We don't have to get up. They're under her ass. And Jacob was wroth and chode with Laban. Chode
is contented. Like angry.
I couldn't help it, dude. I saw chode. Chode. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. This 20 years, that's it, have I been with thee, thy ewes, and thy... What is ewes?
It's like a animal.
Oh. Like an emu?
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just using context clues.
Yeah. Okay. Thy ewes and thy she-goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flock have I not eaten. That which was torn of beasts I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it. Of my hand didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was, in the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sheep departed from mine eyes. Thus have I been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle. And thou hast changed my wages 10 times. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God hath seen mine affliction, and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and these cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto these my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone, and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones. And they took stones, and made an heap. And they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jegar Sahadunthua. Yegar Sahadutha. Yegar Sahadutha. But Jacob called it Gilead. Thank you, Jacob.
Galheed.
And Laban's Galid. And Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead. And Mizpah, for he said, The Lord watch between me and thee, when we are absent one from another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives besides my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be witness, and this pillar be witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and that thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. The God of Abraham, and the God of Nahor, the God of the father, judge betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up, and kissed his sons and daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed, and returned to his place.
Damn
Genesis
straight.
chapter 32. Yeah, that was a crazy little freaking thing right there. Like, it was gonna get heated, but it didn't, and they just kind of they were both upset at each other after all of it, even though there's really no reason for Laban to be upset outside of, I guess, Rachel taking the idols. If she didn't take those idols, it's quite possible that Laban wouldn't have even gave chase.
Right.
And it's like, dang it, Rachel, stealing stuff. Why you gotta be stealing false god idols? I'm wondering if it's false god idols for her, like she wants them, like you were saying, or if it's like she did that to spite him, and just because, I don't know, if she's getting with Jacob, she's got to be of God, you know, like she was even talking about God, like God has blessed me and everything, you know, like for the womb. So she knows God now, you know, like she's had like an accord with him.
Right.
And for her to take those idols, I don't think that it was for personal use outside of as much as it was to spite her father, because she started getting pissed about what she was doing to Jacob.
Right.
That's like where I'm leaning with it.
What I'm thinking about, and because I have a terrible time remembering the bloodlines, Lebon is a relative of Abraham, right?
Yes.
Somewhere down the
Yes.
line. That's why Rachel said, go to Lebon. Basically, we're relatives. Get a daughter of his, because then you know you
Yep.
got the good blood.
Yep.
But Nahor, or Laban at least, son of Nahor. See, it says God of Nahor with a capital G. So Nahor believed in the Abrahamic God, in the God we all worship, the one true and only God. But then Laban starts praising idols. So just within
Yeah.
one generation, Lebon gets twisted and fucked and starts sucking up these other cultures, and
Yeah.
you can see how it's misled him. He's not willing to, one, abide by the regular tradition, but then two, like, those are your daughters. This is now your son-in-law. Like, why are you not willing to set them up for a life together? You want to take everything for yourself. You're an old man. You're probably going to die soon. You're already set up.
The reason he wanted to take is what Jacob said. Like, when Jacob first showed up, Laban's flock was small. He had like nothing going on for
Even
him.
still,
That's why he was so excited to have Jacob around. He's like, I have a man around, like a real man around.
Yeah.
Like,
He just wanted
I'm
to keep
hooking this
him
guy
around.
in. Yeah.
It wasn't so much about the flock. It was Jacob.
Jacob was a man of God and was blessed by God. So anything Jacob was working on was going to be fruitful and multiply, you know? So he put Jacob to work on this flock, you know, and he grew it exponentially, and freaking thus grew Laban's wealth, you know?
Yeah.
But before, it's kind of a testament, you know, to like, so Laban fell away from God and started doing the whole like idol worship, and it shows with how his display in life, you know, what he had in life. It was kind of a reflection of that. And then as soon as Jacob comes around, you know, godly man, it multiplied everything for him, and it kind of went to his head, and he felt like he had like shackles on Jacob and like a way to get him with these daughters, you know.
Right.
And then then Jacob's finally like, I'm done with this shit. I'm taking off. And it's just weird that freaking those idols are the only thing, really, I think. Like, obviously he wanted to keep Jacob around and everything, but it's like once he noticed the idols were missing and like things of his house, he's like, I'm chasing him down. This Jacob son of a bitch, I'm coming for him. And freaking God ends up coming to him in a dream, saying, don't you dare. Don't speak anything good or bad of him. Don't even do it.
Right.
And that's crazy. It's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Wild story, dude. Wild freaking story right there. Like, it's almost like a hostage situation, you know? Like, it's like almost like a horror movie.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh no.
Yeah. No, must not.
God bless you,
Couldn't
my child.
There you go. Couldn't have been like the worst time ever. I mean, like you said, he was being blessed. His numbers were multiplying. Jacob. So like it couldn't have been the worst time ever.
Yeah. No, he had his women with him too, you know. So it wasn't necessarily a bad time, but it was just the fact that like
he was ready to
he
go.
has a mission. Yeah, he has a mission and he has a destiny. And Laban was just hoarding his destiny and his like power, that his God-given, you know, power as a man. He was just harnessing it for himself. It was very dirty of him what he was doing. And you know what? I feel like we all kind of work for a Laban right now. You know?
Oh yeah.
We all work for. I almost feel like calling my boss Lebon from now on. You know.
Yeah.
And just kind of seeing if they get the joke.
My wages have changed 10 times.
Yep. And frickin' you're just holding me hostage here.
We made an agreement that I was going to work for this, and now it's that I'm working for. It's always the next thing you're working for. You're right. That's a good analogy.
Yep. Yeah.
Good analogy.
Want me to go one more?
I think that should be it. That's like kind of a good header. Like Jacob's out of the area now. He's about to go back and confront Esau.
We'll have another story. Yeah.
I think that we'll just save that for another time.
Okay. That sounds good, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good story. I mean, I kind of like the fact.
I like when they're entertaining like that. They're a little bit more.
Yeah, there was definitely
interactive.
some entertainment. Yeah.
I don't know about interactive is the right term, but yeah. There's a little humor, a little bit more fun to be had. Instead of just that repetitive nonsense that you get with the genealogies.
Yes. This one had a lot more that was like followable, you know, and like relatable, and
it makes it a little bit easier to read too.
Good story.
I feel like I don't sound like just a robot the whole time I'm reading it.
Yeah. This one was a lot easier to read.
Right. just a little tidbit for the end here. We haven't been getting too much engagement on the Bible episodes in particular. You got some Bible beater friends that would actually be open to hearing some crazy perspective on the Bible. You should shoot them our podcast. Share us around.
Yeah.
It'd be greatly appreciated. But also, like, we'd love to grow the community and chat some people up. Maybe get some people to correct us on our stupidity, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
My aunt was like, "What Bible are you reading?" I just wanted to make sure I'm doing this right. I'm like, "Don't
King
worry,
James.
Don't worry, Auntie. You got this."
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of understand that, like, we are not how would I put this? We're not David Attenborough, you know, like reading this stuff. Like we're working through this for the first time, like, coherently, you know.
Right.
Like I have read up to, I think, well, not read, I've listened to the Bible up to, I think, Ezekiel. So I have a little bit of, like, foreknowledge, but as far as, like, getting into it, reading and trying to comprehend it, like, fully, I'm not there. And I don't, me and Dave, we both haven't done that yet. So this is like a first timer's journey. And I just kind of want it to, you know, maybe lead into other people, you know, like you can either follow along with us and go through our thing, or I just hope that it prompts you to read it so that you don't have to listen to our butcherings, you know. Go read it then, you know. Yeah, join us on a first timer's journey, and you can, you know, get our crazy side of it, which I don't know if it's as crazy as people would like to make it.
Just no, we're not trying to preach. Take it all with a grain of salt. We're just fucking tinfoil hat goofballs that like to conspirize about Bible stuff because the Bible's our favorite stuff.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on with it too that is 100%, you know.
All right, you're out of the show.
Magical.
I was gonna let you be in the show, but you're a nuisance.
I'm still on the frickin' the King James Bible frickin'.
Oh, that's all right.
What did we get, Buddy? Did we get a rare Buddy occurrence?
Yeah, Buddy dropped in. All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. Don't forget to do the internet thing, like, follow, rate, comment, subscribe, share, all the stuff. I don't know what else there is. We got a Facebook that I'm barely uploading on, an Instagram I haven't uploaded on, an X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that I have
maybe if we get
a couple
more
episodes
people.
up on. But YouTube is an option. Apple Podcast is a problem. Shepherd's Podcast at gmail.com. Hit us up if you want to be on the show, or if you have any suggestions or topics, or just want to chat. Hit us in the DMs. All of those things, guys. Peace.